Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to tell you how I created the animation project, which you already could see earlier, because I posted it right before this video. That's logical, come on. This project is an animation of supermarket chain logo, and if it seemed to you that all this was easy to make, my congratulations, it really seemed to you, because everything was absolutely difficult. And what exactly was difficult, I will now describe to you in bright colors. Also, if you're interested in technical moments, you can ask me about it in comments or in social medias. But now I'll explain everything as simple as possible and understandable. So this project was created in a program named like Maya, and it was for me a generally unknown horizon, because I didn't deal with this program before, and I learned Maya in process of creation of the project. And I didn't understand will it be difficult or easy, because I had zero experience in this program and in 3D animation at all. However, I knew that this program is actively used in creation of popular movies, games and so on, so I understood that it's necessary to treat it with respect and responsibility, let's say, because it's the same as talking to president. If I'll be cloning here, only I'll be suffering in the future. First of all, just like any normal person, I started from the theory. I watched different lessons, tutorials of Maya, and here we have two nuances. On the one hand, when I began to study all these buttons, I mean what they do when I need to use them, well, I was shocked. Just imagine for a second that you were suddenly put on a plane, somebody showed you thousands of buttons and told, "Come on, start flying." Of course you'll say something like, "Can I leave, please?" I hope you understood my feelings. But on the other hand, as I said, I learned when exactly I should use different things in program, and I found out that I will not use 90% of this, because I was creating letters. I wasn't creating the virtual city or new great movie. And here in process of Maya studying, I couldn't wait for practice, because I can fill the head with tons of theory probably for all eternity, considering what program I chose. So once I decided to finally start working, and I began to model letters. Unfortunately, here Maya decided to give me a couple of issues and problems, and in order to somehow fix it, I began to read, ask and watch. As soon as I completed the models, let's say I got rid from the one circle of hell, the new step began, rigging. Please don't kill me for complicated terminology, cause I will explain everything, I promise. So rigging is when you prepare your character for animation. For example, it's just like a puppeteer threads lots of needles through a puppet to create movements with their help. Frankly speaking, I thought that I'll just find a lesson in the internet, step by step I'll copy it, and everything will be cool. But unfortunately, I didn't find lessons about rigging letters. Yes, I tried to find it everywhere, but nothing, just nothing. Anyway, I even stopped hoping to find a lesson and just began to look for ready-to-use models of letters, but as I said, I didn't find anything. So I had to create everything by myself, using just my own paws. But the second circle of hell would not be called like this if it wasn't so difficult. That was really hard for me, because I made rigging for different letters in different ways. Because, for example, one letter can do one thing, while other letter doesn't do what the first one does, but it can do something more complex. But even considering this big difference, actually the nerves were spent equally. The next step is skinning. That's when you work on the model rig for very long and carefully, correcting something in order to prevent bad situations. For example, when you move a shoulder of character and a part of stomach suddenly starts moving, when you bend a knee and joint magically changes its form, and so on. So, as you could understand, I worked really hard on it. But all this boring work on models finally ended, and the heaven's gates to world of animation opened in front of me. And I thought, okay, nice, it's time to chill out, here's nothing hard. Yeah, of course. Okay, first of all, I'd like to say that I had a person who helped me to create this project, and his mission was to write a scenario. Even at the very beginning, he came up with it seemed brilliant scenario. I made some changes and started to work. And at that moment, when I had already completed some part of the animation, I mean sleepless nights of work on 5 seconds of video, we realized that something was wrong. We moved according to the scenario, but at the same time we didn't like what we could see on the screen. That's strange, because we really worked hard on this part. We watched a real rolling out Apple to understand what we were doing wrong. But the mistake was already that we copied movements of a real object. How often do movements of simple things in real life interest you? For example, the same apple. Are its movements interesting for you? That's it. Of course, no. And then we decided to completely change our concept by, let's say, adding dynamics and some kind of cartoon unreality to movements of our characters. Although I was morally almost killed by the fact of a full reworking of our animation, the new scenario was much more interesting than it was before. And the new scenario you can see right now in that video. Next step is rendering. I love this step most of all just because it's a final step, come on. So the rendering is when we turn this ugly gray picture into this. Initially I didn't think that this process will be easy. I even couldn't know this, because I never dealt with this. So in the beginning it was hard as hell. I spent about 12 hours exploring the render settings, testing, checking how different functions slow down or speed up my render, how much the quality improves or get worse, and so on. That's funny, but in the end, when I finally started rendering my animation, I couldn't believe that it was really happening. I thought maybe I should check everything again, maybe something is wrong somewhere. And at that time when my render was already going, and it was going for almost 2 days, I almost every hour ran to the computer and checked rendered frames. Mentally asking all kinds of problems, just please don't ever show up. So very intensive work of my computer ended and everything is ready. So now you can see the result of it. I hope that you, my dear subscribers and guests of my channel, will appreciate my work. So of course I expect likes from you and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and bye!